This is our last fragrance. Yes, of the group. Last one. There we go. Doing a bang up job. Best I could do it around 100 degrees outside. So there you go. This is the final one of the collection that I've tried. This is the 12th. There are 3 collections. This one is the Timeless Legacy. And this is the last one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rank all 12 of them. Now, I love to rank things, but then I feel badly because then people think I dislike the one at the bottom when that is not the case. Like, I love Clue Perfumery. I love all of them, but you gotta pick. You have to. Well, you don't have to, but I enjoy doing it, and it's just kind of fun. But I love them all. This has been a really great collection. I will talk about it more in depth before I rank everything. But yeah, so this is our final one. And this one is, I'm pretty sure, Jang, which is left. And that basically has to do with food in the Korean culture. So what I like about the Timeless Legacy collection is that it kind of celebrates, the other ones celebrate Korea as well. But what I feel is different is that this collection kind of put Elorea into its own, in that it wasn't just kind of, they were ingredients from Korea, but I feel like this one really encompasses Korean culture, if that makes sense. Like, it really does, and I really like this collection for that. That being said, it is a little bit more expensive to experience that. So 50 milliliters is going to cost you $155, and the 100 is going to cost you $230. So a little bit more, probably for those more natural ingredients. So the key Korean ingredients are ginjang, and the other one is soybean. It looks like daedukong. Daedukong? Rocking it. Probably not. So Jang pays homage to traditional fermented sauces that form the foundation of Korean cuisine. In the past, every household crafted their own jang in large clay vessels, jangdok, filling the air with the comforting aroma of fermenting soybeans. This fragrance captures the nostalgic essence in a modern, wearable form. So it's basically aged soy sauce, which is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I don't know that, but I'm gonna say it is because it is cool. I love this. I love the idea of it. So basically they're talking about the clay pots, and what the clay pots are is that in more modern times they don't do this as much, but back in the day, or if you're out further than a major city, or even where I went to see the monks when I was there are these beautiful clay jars. They're huge, and inside they will have fermented food or various spices, not spices so much, but fermented things like soybean paste, all that. And then you can go out, lift the jar, go like this, and then put the lid back on and go back in the house. It's really kind of cool. So that's what they're talking about. So the top notes are ginjang, charcoal, and soybean. Very cool. Heart, lang lang, jasmine, sambac. And the base is geogaia, and that is a fragrance technology. It captures the rich and complex scent of petrichor, the aroma that arises when rain falls on dry ground. Designed to enhance relaxation. This is why they're more expensive. I don't know if this really works, but you know, hey. And then it has styrax, opoponyx, myrrh, and myrrh. I just said myrrh, myrrh, or myrrh, and cistus. So there you go. So unisex, vegan, small batch. I am excited by this one because who doesn't want to smell like food? I mean, I do. I'm a gourmand girl. I don't normally do soybean, but I'm ready. Ooh, I can definitely smell it. I can smell something. So here we go. Whew. Oh, wow. So that jasmine is a lot stronger. I thought it was going to be more food-based. That is jasmine. It is straight up jasmine with a little bit of spice. So jasmine has a little bit of oomph to it. You know, there's gentle flowers, and jasmine's a little bit like spicy. Jasmine, it knows you. It's watching you. And it's definitely, it has jasmine. I'm not getting the food notes as much yet. There's a beautiful earthy, there's a beautiful earthiness to it. Right when I said that, there is kind of a soy scent coming through. Now that the flowers are kind of, wow. Okay, well, I kind of want to, Yep, there it comes. Interesting. So it's this beautiful jasmine. I mean, it's just like in your face. But then what's interesting is that it has this grounded earthiness underneath it. And then you start to smell. You start to smell a little bit of soy, like soy sauce, a little bit. Not bad though, but you get a little bit of that. But let's try this. Wow. Ay, ay, ay. I don't even know what that is. There's something in there that is so beautiful. So it's this weird mix, not weird, this beautiful mix of the jasmine with like a charcoaly scent to it. Yeah, that is odd. That is not what it smells like charcoal. It smells a little bit, not foody, but like you're at a restaurant after it's been cleaned and they put fresh flowers out and it's getting ready for the day. Like they're starting the little, like in Korea they have these little barbecues that they have, and you turn them on, you put meat on it, and then you turn it, you cook it in front of you right at the table. It's kind of like that kind of feel to it. That's really wild. Let's try it on the shirt. It's that jasmine. It's that beautiful jasmine with like a charcoal. That is wild. And they're saying the aroma that rises when rain falls on dry ground. I didn't want to say this, but yeah, I kind of get that. Is that weird? Is that weird? A little bit. I'm getting that feeling. I didn't think you could really capture that. You can. It does smell a little bit like when water hits cement and you get that scent. That's kind of what it smells like. So it's like charcoal and this smell coming up when water hits the ground and it just kind of rises with jasmine. And a little bit of like a foodie feel to it. Like there's a little bit of that soy underneath. Like soy sauce. That is... Now, okay, I know people are listening to this and going like... I'm going to say it is absolutely fabulous. So like everything that you're hearing, you're like, no, I don't think so. But you really should. You really should try it because it's fantastic. It's so different than anything else I've smelled, really. I see certain elements of other things because I mean you're gonna use the same notes and it's gonna make you think of other various scents. But this put together is so interesting. This is good. This is kind of a mind boggler, but good. So what I'm going to do is sit with this one for an hour because I really need to meditate on this one. This is not of this world. This is in a good way. So I'm going to come back in an hour because I need to sit with this. This is wild. And I'm really loving the ride. So we'll check back in. Okay, so it has been about an hour and this one is just fantastic. At first I was like, there's a lot going on. There was a lot, and then it started morphing really quickly. And so I was like, I don't know what I'm dealing with. But this one's lovely. This one, okay. So if you're looking for a powerhouse from Elorea, because most of them are not what I would describe a powerhouse, I think Jang is the one for you because it is definitely strong. It really is, in a good way. It is so good. So how would I describe it now? How it's jasmine with lang lang mixed together, but it's almost like this syrupy, ambery, fermented scent. So it's this beautiful sweet amber, which amber tends to be sweet in itself, but it's almost like a syrupy amber. And then there's like underlying fermented note to it. So it's this beautiful like fermentation, this salty, almost like a bitter note with it, with this beautiful sweet syrupy amber note. with the lang lang and that jasmine just underneath it, kind of just pulling it all together. Oh, wow. And then on my skin, it's really picking up that charcoal. I'm really getting that charcoal. It kind of reminds me of, like, it's nothing like T-Rex. I just want to say that. But that smokiness does kind of remind me of T-Rex. I'm getting a little bit of that feel from it. But I think it's very much more approachable. So it's in that vein, nothing alike. Just know it's not a dupe or anything, nothing alike. But it's in that vein, at least for me, of that smokiness. But let's try it on the clothing to see if that's the case. Yeah, it's very much that charcoal. Like I'm getting that here too. I'm getting a lot of that charcoal. But it's very beautiful and wearable because it has that floral, because it has that syrupy amber. And I am getting like almost an ethereal kind of scent to it. It's almost like incense in there with it. Like, it kind of reminds me of an ancestral rite where they will, like, they do this in Mexican culture too, where you'll put out like a picture of somebody and then put their favorite things around them. So it's kind of that they do this like on I think death dates in Korea, where they'll put the picture and then what the person likes. And I think incense, it's kind of like that. It's almost like some kind of ceremonial rite. It's almost, this is what this reminds me of. It just has that smokiness of the incense with the beautiful flowers. That's what just makes it wild, is those beautiful flowers are there, but then you get this beautiful, sweet, syrupy amber with something very fermented underneath. It's wild, but then it's smoky. So it's like almost like it's the smoke from the incense and the myrrh. Oh, this is wild. Yeah, I know, it's a lot. It's hard to... This isn't something where you're like, I felt with Elorea, a lot of them you can go, it's this, and put it into a box, you know. It just, it is what it is. It's like, this is this. And with this, I feel like this is probably their most, this one out of all their scents probably has the most complexity to it. It really is quite amazing. And if they stay on this path, I'm curious to see what they do, because this is just... This is wild in a fantastic way. So I am going to sit with this for another 4 hours gladly. I think you can tell I love this one. But it's just, it's really cool. It's worth picking up the box just to try that one alone, I'm telling you. So we will come back in 4 hours and gladly talk about this one. Okay, it has been 5 hours and Jang is still here. I mean, this one probably is the strongest of the collection. So it definitely is working overtime, which I like. I appreciate, because I feel like in general, Elorea tends to be a very gentle house. You're really going to have to upkeep them. They aren't, they aren't powerhouses. I don't think that is the intention of the creations of Elorea. So just know that. But Jang, it's here and it's here to stay. I could definitely still smell it. So this is such an interesting scent. It's just, it's so unique. And what it is this, at least what I'm smelling, is this beautiful amber with the slight little spiciness, slight little saltiness from the fermentation with smoke, charcoal. It's very unique. It truly is. But let's try it here. So it's mostly sweetness coming through on me here. It's mostly a little bit of like a salty sweet, but mostly sweet, with just a tad bit of that fermented like saltiness here. Yep, that's what's mostly on my hand. Very interesting. But let's try it on the shirt. Interesting. So on the shirt, again, it's that kind of charcoal smell. It's a little bit smoky, but there's more floral to it. I'm still getting that floral component. So the amber's really coming through on my body chemistry. There is some slight here. It's very slight. It's mostly smoky and like florals, but then it's bouncing off the amber and a little bit of fermentation on my body chemistry. And so when I move around, it's basically this gorgeous bubble of this luscious smell. It's so unique. I really truly like this one. I really do think that this one is ridiculously unique. Probably the most unique out of the collection. So I definitely think this is one you would need to try. I think this is going to be polarizing, but this is one that I think would be great if you bought 4 of them and then tried this one. I think in general, the Timeless Legacy collection is just more unique than the other 2 collections. So if you like something a little bit, that has a little bit of pizzazz to it, this may be for you. Very interesting. It does morph quite a bit. I mean, it's mostly floral at first, but then it just goes to that smokiness. Like I said, it does kind of remind me of T-Rex just a little bit in that, but it's contained. Everything in Elorea tends to be contained. So it's not like barbecue, which I got from T-Rex, it was a powerhouse. This is contained power. And I think that's just how Elorea does its scents. So very interesting, this one. I really like it, but you're going to be stuck with that smokiness, a little bit of floral for me, and that amber sweetness with a little bit of the fermentation. This one is really going to depend a lot on your chemistry, though. I mean, most fragrances do, but this one really, I think you're really going to want to try. But ooh, it's cool. This one is really cool. If I were going to rate this one, but before I do want to say, though, it is a heavier scent, so this is probably going to be more of a fall-winter scent. So this isn't something I would wear necessarily this time of year. It's a little bit heavy. So, but gosh, this would be great in fall and winter. This is it, because it is strong. It's a powerhouse. It's saying, here I am, which is so cool. So yeah, I think if I were going to rate this one, just from the experience alone and just everything that I sensed with this one, I would give this one a 9 out of 10. I really like this one. I think it's really cool. I do. I think a lot of people will either be really stumped by it or they'll really like it. So, and I like that. I like that polarizing type of scent. So, I mean, I get it. I love it. I would buy a bottle of this. Absolutely. So big thumbs up. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, that is the end of the Elorea journey for now. I'm sure they will come out with new scents in the future. You never know what's going to happen. I imagine they will. But yeah, that is all 12 scents. Hopefully we'll be able to rate these pretty quickly and just talk about them all again and my thoughts on the brand. To be honest, I mean, it's a great brand. But what I will say is that just know when you're going into it, it's unassuming. This isn't, for the most part, an art house. I would say with this collection, it's a little bit more arty, but that's not the purpose of it. It's more gentle fragrances that you can wear throughout the day in different circumstances without being too powerful, except for this one. This one people will smell. But the rest of them, I don't think that was the purpose of it. I think it's just supposed to be all day, every day, yeah, and nobody's going to be angry about it. I think that's more what this house is supposed to be. But boy, this collection took it to a different level. So that is really, really cool. Really cool. But I think all in all, this is a really great brand. And I'm excited to see what they put out next. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed all of it. So yeah, I don't know which brand or what company, I keep saying brand, it is brand, company I'm going to be going with next. I don't know. I'm going to look in my collection, see what I have, and then I'm going to probably do something that is more internationally known, because Elorea, I think at this time, you can only really get in the US. So I kind of want to do something that brings in the rest of the world. Everybody's invited. So we can, talk about it on a world scene where you'll be able to get it and not just hear about it and go, when? Way. That's not when, that's more why, but that's okay. More Korean for you. But yes, so we will have a new series starting here soon and a ranking of Elorea. Very cool. This was a fun one. I'm glad I did it. So with that, have a fabulous day, my friends, unless you're here for the cultural note. Bye. Okay, so the final thing that I'm going to basically say about visiting Korea is one of the best parts, to be honest with you, was the people. I'm just going to say it. There was a lot more adventures that I had. I could talk more about Korea, but the main thing that I wanted to say was that the people were just absolutely phenomenal. Like, so welcoming, so nice. You know, my Korean skills are still very basic in a lot of ways, but if I had an issue, you know, people were willing to help. People would come up off the street and then say, hey, you know, do you need help? You know, they would try to help you with their English skills that they had, which are probably about the same level as my Korean. And it was really great. Everyone was just so kind. People were very excited, especially if you left the major areas of Seoul and went out a little bit. They were really excited if you were excited by eating their food. I remember near Bukasan, I went to a small restaurant with my friend, and nobody was really there, and they didn't really speak much English, if any. And they were so excited that we were eating the food, enjoying it, kept bringing us the banchan, the sides, and like, because we were like, this is so good. It was a wonderful experience all around. Just, I didn't meet, you know, like a mean person in the bunch. Everybody was just so fantastic. I had a friend who recently went. Now, I don't do cruises. I'm not a cruise kind of girl. It's just not what I do, but you do you. But I know somebody who does do cruises. You know, she's my best friend's sister, and she loves cruises. And so she and her partner went, and they went to Japan, Korea, and a few other places, and she ended up hurting herself before she left. Like, her leg is messed up from a sports injury, and so she basically is like, well, I'm still going, I paid for this. And when she was in Korea, she couldn't do everything that she normally would because she had like a brace on her leg and was on crutches a lot of the time. But what was interesting was she said that the group went in somewhere and she couldn't do it because of her legs, so she says, I'll just go to this area and rest. And she was going to walk. She's like, I can walk with crutches. It's not a big deal. But the woman who was running it, a Korean woman, basically said no. She was like, they're absolutely not. She took care of her. She basically pulled the bus over, and he's like, no, I'm supposed to wait here and I'm not going. You're going to take her there. She started telling him, look at her, you know, and she talked him into it. And so the guy did. He took her to the spot. My friend was like, no. It's okay. But she did it. And I think that's really cool. I mean, she said it was one of the kindest things. The woman was watching after her the whole tour that day, making sure that she wasn't left behind, making sure that she was okay. And when she couldn't do the activity, that she was taken care of. And that's what I'm talking about, you know, when it comes to Korea. I found the people to be very proud of their culture, very proud of their city, their food, you know, everything. But yet there's this kindness and this need to make people feel welcome. And what I found, even when I went to the tours where they were English speaking, they were so happy to see a group of people from a different culture willing to learn about theirs openly, and had a great time listening to their stories and their history and the questions that people would ask, because it showed you actually care, you know. And it was just, you could tell the volunteers, a lot of them were very happy to be there sharing their culture and seeing that other people were totally into it. But everybody was just so kind. When I used my poor Korean, people were so nice to me. You know, I went to like a bodega. I had to get something to eat. It was late at night, and I started speaking to a woman. I'm like, oh, Chogyo Ajuma. She turned around and grabbed my hand. Got me what I needed. Didn't speak any English, but it was just, I spoke what I could to her in Korean, and it was enough to get by. And the look on her face and the smiles as she squeezed my hand because she knew I was trying, and it just, everybody was so kind. Like, seriously, it was so beautiful. Actually, the people just were so lovely, so kind, so willing to go out of their way to help you if they felt that you needed it, even if you didn't. But it's just, especially for a major city. I want you to try that in New York City. I don't think it's going to happen. People in New York City are kind. It's just a different kind of kind. Yeah, they will help you if you need help, unless they're really busy, which most of the time. But it's a different feel than a major city like that. Even like Chicago. Though in Chicago, they're really nice. Yeah, very, very nice. But that's what I'm saying. It would be very different, even possibly in a European city where some people could be a little bit aloof. And I get it. Everybody's busy. I get it. But it's like, I didn't find that to be the case in Seoul. I just didn't. Everybody was so nice. So yeah, one of the highest points, honestly, I could tell you story after story after story after story of the kindness that I was met with when I was in Seoul. I really can. It was really amazing. Just all around amazing experience. I encourage it. Go to Seoul. Do it. I know a lot of people don't go. It kind of gets lost between Japan and China a little bit, and everybody's like, but what? Why? Because it's Korea. That's why. It's awesome. I stand by it. Do some research. Check it out. Have a good time. Because I did, and I'm going to have a good time again. So there you go. So that is it. We made it. And I will see you next time with a new series, and we'll see what we do with that one. Have a fabulous day, my friends. Bye.